Good evening, everyone. This is the March 8th, 2023 meeting of the Auburn Conservation Commission. This open meeting is being operated as a hybrid format under Chapter 22 of the Acts of 2022. The public can join the meeting remotely by telephone by dialing 1-408-650-3123 with access code 942-845-549, or you can join via computer at global.gotomeeting.com/join/942-845-549. All supporting materials for tonight's meeting have been provided to the commissioners, and the public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. My name is Michael Garland. I'm chairman of the Conservation Commission. And before we begin, let me confirm that members participating tonight are present. So when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Tom Fallon.
Here.
Michelle Colross.
Here.
Patrick Cunningham.
Here.
Christopher Carey.
Here.
And Jesse Averka.
Here.
All right. Please note that this meeting is being recorded by Auburn Cable Television. If anyone is participating remotely tonight, I would ask you when you do sign in to state your name and your address as if you were here in person. And so preliminaries taken care of. The first item on our agenda is 7 p.m. public hearing, Nordic Industrial Properties LLC for Fuller's Collision Center, and notice of intent for property at 12-14 Sword Street. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Mr. Mendez, are you here for this meeting? Good evening, sir. Why don't you come on up?
Yes, sir.
Hi, good evening. How are you doing?
Thanks. So, at our request, you submitted what I believe you consider to be a waiver request, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Tell me what steps you took to compile this letter. And just for the record, the letter is dated March 1st, 2023 to the commission.
Sure. I guess in light of the bylaws saying that no work is generally permitted within the 25-foot buffer zone, I was looking, I guess, a way to, a way to address stormwater management. The main constraint being that I'm trying to place the outfalls for the culverts for the underground infiltration system and the bioretention area at a lower point. Unfortunately, though, we've been looking around at the property and examining the contours. Basically, everything else in the property is higher than the proposed work area. The wetlands and the intermittent stream are actually the lowest points on the property. As is, much of the property drains toward that area. And at this point, we're simply be trying to place some sort of stormwater management features to improve that. When I'm trying to find, again, where I could place or discharge the water, I guess I saw that basically the only area I could was proposed, or as currently proposed. And hence, and that's how I got about to preparing the letter. I'm trying to figure out this. I saw these are my site constraints, and I guess that's the reason for this point.
Okay. Are there any questions?
Made the plan, I guess, because that was like it was a small area, right?
It's right on the bottom on the
It's
left.
right on the bottom,
Well, there'd be 3 points that I should clarify.
just 3 points.
Yes.
Can you point over there?
Sure thing.
So
So-
here,
There's this
Here?
one, yes, this one over here, and then there would be, I guess, one over here, which doesn't show up too well. Wait, no. Oh, you don't have the updated information.
You sent us an updated plan?
I submitted revised information back in February.
Yeah. This is the full-size plan from November. Do we have a copy of the February plan?
I do not know.
I have one
In here.
available right now.
Okay, well,
Okay.
can you bring it up?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think it's here much.
That's fine.
So in this particular case, since we're also submitting for the planning board, we received the peer review letter and we made revisions based on that letter.
Who did the peer review?
McCarty Engineering.
Okay. Let's get a copy of that, that letter.
Sure. I have a copy on hand.
Okay.
I have what is that? They had two letters. There was our response letter, and there was 2 days ago they submitted their response letter to that one. I have that one.
All right.
available. So it has comments from, I guess, everybody. So if you don't mind, I can
Yeah.
provide that too. So in this particular case, this is the newest one, and that. So what I'm trying to say is there would be three discharges. Okay. So the highlighted over here is simply the 25-foot buffer zone, or the limits of the 25-foot buffer zone. The orange over here are the proposed work areas within the 25-foot buffer zone. This would be one culvert to a proposed catch basin with an associated riprap apron. Over here would be the underground infiltration system, the culvert and the riprap apron. And this would be the bioretention area with the two culverts and a plunge pool and a riprap apron. All told, it's probably about 900 square feet, I believe.
Now, just so we're clear here, is that disturbed area?
Yes, that would be the disturbed area.
And you're not proposing any replication elsewhere?
No, I couldn't find anything else because already as is, what's paved and stuff like that, there's a paved portion or some paved areas within the 25-foot buffer. And none of that, pretty much nothing I could try to replicate it or make up in a sense anywhere else. There's nowhere else I could find.
Can I assume that the bioretention area is at the lowest point on the property?
Yes, because for instance, I can clarify over here, for instance, like upon the street, we're talking elevation 500. This back area over here is 495.
Okay.
The bioretention area goes down 4 feet to 491. So the portions over here along the wetlands are about like 491, 490. So pretty much that's all I have, I guess, in that sense.
How deep would you have to dig to create that plunge pool on the far side of the plan?
3 feet, if I'm not mistaken.
So where are you in the planning board phase?
At this point, we've only been able to have one meeting with the planning board. That was back in December.
Okay.
For the other ones is that for the ones in this January, we were waiting on peer review comments, and also we were waiting on comments from the Department of Public Works for the land disturbance application.
Can I look
Okay.
at all of it?
Yeah, please.
I guess. So what happened is that I tried attending the meeting in February for one, but there wasn't enough attendance from the planning board. Didn't have enough of a quorum.
Uh-huh.
So that was continued to February 28th because of the snowstorm. that was canceled, and so the next meeting is actually this coming Tuesday on the 14th.
So next Tuesday?
Yes,
So,
the second one.
so I would like to get all the comments. I mean, again, you just handed this to us
Sure.
tonight, and we're just seeing this plan, I think, for the first time, because I don't recall, we didn't get a copy of this before, did we?
No, I don't believe so.
All right, so, and I don't know if you can leave this with us, or if you can provide us with another copy, a full-size copy of the updated plan. We just want to take a look at it.
I can leave it, that's fine.
Okay.
And then
So-
here's a smaller set, just in case.
Perfect. So with your permission, I would recommend or suggest that we continue this to our next meeting on March 22nd.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Understood, yeah, if that's the case, no problem at all.
And would that be at 7 o'clock? Jesse?
Yes, that would be at 7 o'clock.
Okay. Can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion, we continue this public hearing to the 22nd of March at 7 p.m.
All right, is there a second?
Second
motion. All right, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. All right, thank you, sir. You want this back, or can we keep this?
You can keep it.
Wow.
I do have a question.
Sure.
Have we already looked at this? Sorry if I missed
We-
it.
At the site visit?
Yeah, we did a site visit.
I
Michelle?
would say it was
Yeah,
back in.
I missed it.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Okay, Dave.
I think, but I think you'll have an opportunity to go and see it.
Can I go look at it, like
Please.
maybe Saturday? Okay, all right, cool,
Sure.
because I am actually gonna be here on Saturday, so I can, do
Okay.
you mind if I just go kind of poke around at it
Go.
by myself? All right, cool, all right,
Open that all.
I can go by myself, I can. put
I'd like
my way
to tag
around.
along if that's okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
All right, let's do
Jesse
that.
hasn't seen it, so. All right, so thank you for coming, and we'll see you on the 22nd.
Okay, cool. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
The next item on our agenda is a 7:05 public hearing. Levesque Geomatics, Inc., a notice of intent for property at 23 Brook Street. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote. Is anyone here on behalf of Levesque Geomatics? Yes, sir. Please come on up. And can you state your name, please?
Good evening, my name is Joseph Levesque. I'm the surveyor that prepared the plan that you're looking at on behalf of Christine Fala at 23 Brook Street.
Okay.
I believe the issue at hand is that there's a standing enforcement order for work that occurred within the buffer zone. It's a hardscape project. They're doing a retaining wall, paver patio, and then kind of expanding the grass lawn area around the paver patio. And most of that work is occurring within the 100-foot buffer.
Right. When we were out there, it appeared they were bringing in material. They were trying to level out their backyard because there was a definite slope, and they were bringing material to try to level it out.
Yes, it is being, that's why they're installing the retaining wall.
Right. Exactly. So.
Just to check.
So the wetlands were delineated by Art Allen at Ecotech, I believe in 2018. I think the same property had submitted a notice of intent for other work that occurred on the property in 2019, I believe. So we reused the existing delineation by Art Allen at Ecotech to establish the wetland lines that are shown on the plan.
Okay.
And for the existing site access, they're just gonna use the existing paved driveway and then just sort of loop around the right-hand side of the house. There's a existing crushed stone sort of walkway that's in place that we're just gonna utilize as the site access to get to the rear yard, which will be cleaned up and restabilized, prior to the completion of the work. I do have some pictures. I don't know if you guys wanna look at it, but I just have like of the backyard and stuff.
Sure.
Are you the one that's doing the work?
I'm not installing the.
I didn't think so.
hardscape, no,
Okay,
ma'am.
cool.
I believe it's a contractor out of Connecticut. I'm sure of his name at the moment.
Do you know when these were taken?
Those were taken, I think, just after Christmas time.
Okay. And nothing has happened, or no work has been done there since then, right?
No,
To your knowledge?
Nope.
Okay.
They've definitely shut it down since they were told to.
The reason I'm asking that question
Sure.
is because whoever is doing this work, he told, well, when I was talking to the homeowners, he advised them that he's never heard of such a thing like as a conservation committee or having to go before a board to get a permit to do this kind of work.
I'd agree that's probably true because that contractor told me the same thing when I spoke to him about getting information about the size of the patio, the length of the retaining wall, stuff like that. He told me that, which, you know, I think that's hard to believe in this day and age, so.
Yeah, I think so too. The pictures basically show what we saw when we were out there.
Okay.
So, Mr. Levesque, I have no other questions. If there may be questions from the board. Why not?
I see this, you've got the scale on a 120, 1-inch, 20-foot scale, but the only dimensions I see on here are the distances to the adjacent properties. And obviously, because you're not constructing this, when we do consider this, we're gonna, of course, have the contractor give something with a little more detail. This is nothing.
The retaining wall that's shown that sort of surrounds, that's existing, that's already in
Right,
place.
right.
What dimensions would you like to see?
Oh, I'm just curious, like over here, like where I see this coming over, you know, on the bottom of the wall that they're proposing. It's just, you know, a standard thing that they're gonna give us an as-built, and I just, you know, they're gonna need to give us, you know, some dimensions.
Did I note it? I think I noted the extension, I think they said they're 10 or 12 feet. They want to extend the wall from where it's currently constructed. I think I noted with I just can't read it.
I just read it, approximately 12 feet into the 20 foot.
Yeah, I already saw that, yeah.
I mean, I think Tom's point, the dimensions are not shown.
Just on the drawing, right.
On
I
the
mean,
drawing.
it's probably more detail in here, but
So I would just note that if we do accept this notice of intent or approve it, we want as-built to have a little more information, more details,
Okay.
okay? Whether you do that or someone else.
By meaning, do you mean that by like the distance from the property line to the retaining wall and the patio, stuff like
Exactly.
that?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
We could absolutely add more information for that.
right. Mr. Grabowski, are you here for this project?
No, I'm not, sir.
Okay, I
Okay.
just thought, you know,
Did you, was I talking and you heard me? I'm sorry.
I didn't, no, I did not hear you talking.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry. 'cause
I thought perhaps you had something to
I
add.
have the next one. Mr. Levesque did do the plan for the next one. so
Okay,
thank you.
all right. All right, any comments from the peanut gallery?
I should mention, I did receive a complaint from a neighbor of 23 Brook Street.
Okay,
He said that the work that's been completed so far had redirected water flow onto his property and was damaging his lawn. So,
really?
And
That was something, he was going to call in today and he wanted to take pictures, but the snow is still covering it right now.
Okay, and
So-
what's the address there, do you know?
It's 21 Brook Street, so it's directly adjacent.
All right, so maybe we want to go and take a look.
And I don't, do you still have the pictures that we took? Because I am almost positive that when we went there and I talked to her, there was no, they had disturbed the lawn. We had told them to stop, but there was no cement, there was no wall built at that point.
When, the last time I was out there, you could definitely see the outline of a retaining wall. Now, whether or not
There
that
was
was,
no wall built.
At the beginning, there wasn't. When we were asking them to hydro seed, there
Right,
wasn't.
there was nothing.
That's right,
Right.
but that was-
And then they started,
that was last
and we
spring?
stopped.
But when I sent you, when we asked them to hydro seed, when we went back and they had torn it up, all of the stuff was in the driveway for them to start
Well,
that.
that's right, and that's why we
But
issued the
it hadn't,
enforcement
the
order.
wall had not been started at that point.
No, to your point, I think you're right, and that's why we issued the enforcement order, because they hadn't filed with us.
And we had told them to file before they started any work.
Because the wall and the material that they were putting up against the wall
Right,
hadn't existed, which is being claimed as an existing block wall on this plan.
right.
So,
On the-
why don't we do this? Based on the fact that we've gotten a complaint from an adjacent property holder, I think it's worth, we haven't been out there in a while. Let's take a look. So, Mr. Levesque, if you don't mind, can we continue this to our next meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion to continue?
Make a motion, we continue this public hearing to March 22nd at 7:05.
Yeah, 7:05. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, it's a vote. Okay, thank you for coming, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
We'll see you very shortly, probably.
Yes, sir.
I guess he's leaving. All right. The next item on our agenda is a 7:10 public hearing. Mark and Megan McCrillis, a request for determination of applicability for property at 12 Sunnyside Road. Is there a motion to open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed to vote. Mr. Grabowski.
Thank you again. This is Megan McCrillis. Thank you. Glenn Kowalski from EBT Environmental Consultants. Thank you. Ms. McCrillis, as I said, we're looking to put in a 40 by 16 in-ground pool. The wetlands that are at the site, when I originally did the delineation for Mutual Builders when we built this subdivision, and Weston was around at the time. I believe again, Mr. Garland, you were here, I believe.
Yeah.
And we identified an isolated wetland. And this project is downgrading of the isolated wetland, non-jurisdictional, under state wetland protection regulation, but jurisdictional under your bylaw. So we submitted a sketch plan showing where the pool would be. That's your Exhibit 2A. It is 85 feet plus or minus from the isolated wetland. Mr. Joe Levesque that just left did place the two flags. I do have as an exhibit, if you go through this, your package, look at, please, exhibit, the original subdivision exhibit. That'd be the 7, and I could be incorrect on that, is 7A.
See it?
And it does show that isolated wetland and the lot. The lot configuration might look a little bit different because at the time, the gentleman to our rear, or we might say if we're looking to the north, wanted from Mutual Builders a 25-foot buffer. So you see a 25-foot strip to the rear of this lot. And that was then purchased by the McGrillis when this gentleman in the back was selling his property. So he no longer felt he needed it. They offered him money. So if we look at the new assessor's map, we see that the McGrillises now own that back 25-foot strip. Again, 40 by 16 pool, downgrading the driveway. The isolated wetland is upgrading the driveway. We're downgrading the driveway. I don't believe the commission looked at this yet. Is that maybe correct, if I could ask?
That is correct. At least I haven't been out there. I don't think,
Okay.
I can't speak for anyone else, but I don't think we have.
We know that Auburn generally generally looks at them after the meeting opens, so I,
Right.
but this, we would normally do an NOI even for a BVW or an isolated vegetated wetland under your bylaw, but because we're downgrading it of the wetland system, and we show protection around the pool to ensure the neighbor doesn't get any runoff, we also describe in our project description that all excess material will be removed from the site immediately, and in fact, the backfill for the pool is not the same material that comes out of the ground, so that all leaves. This pool company, we've been Pioneer Pool, this is a outtake of them, we've been doing their pools, we just finished one in, not North Andover, Woburn. We do them around the state for this one company, Great Barrington, last year. So they're, it's a one piece that comes in on a flatbed, it goes on the ground, and that's the size of that pool. They're familiar with it. We're not taking any trees down. And again, we do have protection around the, to the back and to the lower portion of it until all the areas are stabilized. That would be, again, if I didn't mention silvets and wattles.
How close to the isolated wetland is the pool construction?
85 feet.
Aha. So you're within our jurisdiction.
Yes, I am. That's why we filed, sir.
Right.
And we are downgrading of the isolated wetland.
Understood.
Right.
Okay. Well, I think to your point, we haven't been out there, and I think we need to take a look. So, Ms. McQuillis, you don't have to be there. But we normally do our site walks on Saturdays, just that's when people are available. I think the weather's supposed to be okay this weekend. If you wouldn't mind, could we stop by around 9 o'clock, or is that too early for you?
I've got kids. I'm up
Okay.
at 6.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Okay. All right. So we'll take. Sir.
Okay. When you're finished, I'm sorry.
So I would just say we'll take a look on Saturday at 9, and we will be in and out as quickly as possible.
Thank you again. We did drop off because Mr. Joe Levesque did create a plan for us because we wanted to prove to the building inspector that we met rear yard setback for this pool. And it's just that we didn't have it in time to file this. So we wanted to lock ourselves in to at least get here. So we did figure that you would probably continue once for the site inspection. This gets us that out of that way. If we had waited for the plan, we wouldn't be in front of you until 2 weeks from now. That would push us off for another 2 weeks. So we did drop off to your new agent. The site plans, he does have them. He will share them. We're not expecting that you look at them because they only came in.
Right.
But you could have them for the meeting, or for the site inspection and for the meeting. And they do show and demonstrate everything that we just described.
Okay. Great. We'll
Okay.
take a look at them. I'm sure we'll have them with us when we walk the site on Saturday.
I will, I believe in my proposal, I put that in. I will be there just to show anything that needs to be shown.
Okay. Great.
Thank you. We appreciate it again. And 9 o'clock, thank you. And we request a continuance. I think it's appropriate
Yeah.
for the applicant.
So is there a motion to continue the public hearing?
Make a motion, we continue the hearing to the 22nd of March at 7:10 PM.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 It's a March 3.
Okay. Terrific.
We thank you again.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Did you sign in then?
Oh.
Megan? Yes.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank you.
Forgot about that tonight.
Don't hack them. Thank you. See you Saturday. Good evening.
Good evening.
Have a good one.
For further business, we have a request for an extension of an order of conditions for 1 Henshaw Street. So accompanying the extension permit request was a letter dated February 14th of 2023 from an Adam Christie at Protech Energy Solutions, and sets forth the reasons why the request for the extension was made. So it seems pretty straightforward to me. They've also filed the request within the permitted time period. So is there a motion?
I make a motion that we issue a continuance,
Or
an extension
Okay,
of
of the permit for the order
of the
conditions?
permit for the order conditions for within a 3-year period.
3-year period. Specifically through to March 19 of 2026. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote. Regarding enforcement orders, I'm advised that that we will be seeing a notice of intent for 5 Sunrise Avenue will be scheduled on the March 22nd agenda. Is that right, Jessica?
That is right, yes.
Okay. Under other business, it indicates there's a drought update.
Yes, I just figured I'd notify you guys. The mass drought status, unsurprisingly, has been declared back to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, back to normal, finally.
good news, good news.
Mhm.
And we haven't had that much snow this winter either, so sounds like a twofer, actually. Now, if Dan Reich was here, he'd be complaining because he wouldn't have enough time to be skiing, but, you know, he's up
We got
north.
plenty of snow up north.
Yeah, they do, so,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
there's a map.
And then there's a note here that there was a complaint made about 50 Washington Street.
Yeah, so we received a number of calls from neighbors of 50 Washington advising us that there was work being done very close to a wetland. And then I actually spoke to Wanda Bean, who is the secretary for the Sutton Conservation Commission.
Uh-huh.
And she advised me that, you know, I guess 50 and 190 Washington Street are sort of connected.
Why would Sutton be involved in this?
Because she lives right there.
Oh.
And she was just over there, you know, but I guess it lends her a little bit of credibility.
I suppose.
Yeah, and she thought that there was trees being removed very close to the buffer zone and within there. And I know there was a big project that was filed with them a couple of years ago. I don't know if it's the work from that, but I
Okay.
figured it was worth mentioning after hearing, you know, a few different accounts of complaints.
I saw the cutting yesterday. It was pretty stark. Just
Yeah.
driving past, I didn't know.
Okay, now, if I'm looking at the project,
Yeah.
left or right,
It's to the right.
and in the back?
It's to the right, and it's almost up against Route 20. It's just over by.
Oh, is that right?
It's to the right by the park, the trailer park there.
Okay.
There's cutting there. There's silt fence
You're
visible
talking-
from Route 20.
Okay, is that what, whatever that guy's name was talking about, where the state was coming in to take an easement?
No, that's where he's talking about is to the right of that. He was right out front of that one business where the road cuts in. It was a very small area that was very
You mean the
difficult.
one that I took, that I four-wheeled down and met you on the other side?
Yes, we'll see. We'll see.
To the right of that, right, Patrick? Is that what you're talking about, that open area? Because I drove by it today and I saw that too. You could see it was like really wide open.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I want to believe that that was shown on a plan, but I suspect we need to take a look, so we should
Okay.
try to take a look on Saturday. Let's see. That would be the 11th, right?
I have an appointment and, okay, so I have an appointment with a client, I want to say, at 10:30 or 11 o'clock. So
Okay.
how many of these do you think we can squeeze in before then?
Wow.
Yeah,
You think we can bang this out pretty quick?
absolutely.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Okay, good. We can, I mean, God knows, we've been out to Washington Street enough times.
Okay.
Sunnyside shouldn't take very long. I know there are a ton of meeting minutes that need to be,
I just read them over.
did you?
Yeah, while we were sitting here in the 10 minutes, I read them over.
Wow,
Look good
that's
to me.
impressive.
So if you want to kind of, I say we do them. I vote we do them, so they're not hanging over our heads.
Sure.
Okay. Well,
He
in
was
that
pretty
case,
concise on them, so I'm just gonna say,
Thank
yeah.
well, let me ask the question then. Has anyone else read them?
They're pretty cut and dry. Did you read them?
No, I didn't.
Well, you can bang them out pretty quick. You're a lawyer. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thanks for the tactic compliment. You're hilarious.
I know.
Well, first of all, there's a. No, this is actually 2022. So I think it's shown on our agenda as 2023, so that's wrong.
Oh,
Okay.
that's why I don't, I'm a big picture girl. First of all, go to the very back,
Oh.
December. December's on the other one.
I have a better idea. Rather than keep everyone
December's
waiting.
right there.
Yes, I see that.
Okay.
Yeah, you were absent from the December 14th meeting.
Mhm.
Big surprise.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
I was busy that month.
Yeah.
I was absent from all of those meetings.
See, that's why it was easy for you to just go through them because you weren't here.
Yeah.
I'm going to defer it. You know what? Thank you for your attempt.
Okay, all right.
I would,
I just put those.
and actually, I don't think, respectfully, I don't think they were included in my packet. That's maybe a dodge, but it's true.
So I had just included the ones from the last meeting since
Okay.
none of those got pushed through.
All right,
But I can definitely print them and redistribute them in the future.
if you don't mind, because when Keith was our administrative assistant, we weren't getting meeting minutes, and I think there are probably a year's worth of meeting minutes we have to go through.
Yes, you're correct.
And so I think the best way to do it is probably in chunks, maybe 3 or 4 at a time.
Mhm.
You know, so yeah, and I know it's a pain for you, Jesse, but if you could,
Oh no, it's fine.
and I think in all honesty or in fairness, we should probably try to address the earliest meetings first, and then move our way forward.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
You're right. I didn't catch the year. He's right. The year on all of these.
I think that meeting is actually from 2022. Because at the last meet, or maybe
No,
I'm
so
wrong.
those are from because I
They
started
are?
with the most recent one and then
Okay.
I went backwards.
Oh.
That's what I was advised to do. But if
Okay.
you want to go from the oldest forward, totally
Well-
fine with me.
They don't improve with age. Let's put it that way. You know.
Mhm.
So
I was wondering why I didn't really.
yeah.
But these are still industrial parks. We're still talking about some of
Oh,
these
we're
things.
talking about the same things probably for.
Fuller Collision Center.
Continued since the 14th, so.
I did the whole year in 2 weeks and it felt like the same meeting half the time.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of continuances.
yeah.
Granted, this is not scintillating stuff, you know.
Right.
Well, it's good to, actually do your business and take your time with it, so.
I'm seeing 50 Washington Street back on the agenda. Was 190 and 50 Washington Street was on the agenda for
Yeah,
6
I mean,
months.
that's right.
Mhm.
Well, and you know,
Big project.
it's been off, so you know, of course it should come back.
Yeah, it just comes back.
That's right. All right,
Everything
so,
merges in spring.
2023?
and I think whatever you're comfortable in doing, so if you wanna maybe
Yes.
put on maybe like
Oh,
4.
does it say in it?
It says 2020.
Yeah.
So let's see. There-
I'll have to look into that.
You're tricking me.
I've got one thing on here. I got another thing on here. That's
So-
not bad.
So in the year of 2022, we had 22 meetings. So if we try to hit maybe 4 at a time, we can get it done probably by May.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, is there any new business?
No.
Can we get copies of the alternatives analysis that we were just given tonight?
Yes. In fact,
okay.
I'm gonna give this to
There is.
Jesse.
Okay.
So we're gonna, on Saturday, do 23 Brook Street.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna do
12 Sunnyside at 9.
12 Sunnyside at 9. We're gonna need to go to 2021 Brook Street for the complaint and to take a look. I know Tom and I think others have been 12 and 14 Sword Street. That's quick. Would be a quick visit. And then, I think that's it, right?
No, we wanted to go to Washington.
We're gonna do Washington, so we'll do Sunnyside, Brook Street, and Washington Street.
then Source Street?
Sure. Again, I've been out there, so, but yeah, we can do Source Street too.
I believe Brook and Sword Street are pretty close together. Is that accurate?
So you want to
Um,
go
yeah.
with that one first then?
Get those done.
Those two?
Well,
Well,
together.
except we told Ms. McCrillis we'd be there at 9 o'clock.
Right.
I mean, we could start at 8:30 if you want to, but I wouldn't hold anyone to that.
I like 9 better.
Yeah, I
Yep.
figured. So, yeah, let's start with McCrillis at Sunnyside Road at 9, and we'll figure it out from there.
Sounds good.
Okay?
All right.
So I'm going to give this to you, Jesse.
Yeah, sure.
And Jesse, I would like to see all of the comments that were made by the planning board, both, or
Yeah, so that was provided today, and because of the 7 days before, I hadn't printed it out. And
No worries.
Yeah.
No worries.
But yeah, I'll definitely have copies for you guys.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, if there's no new business, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion we adjourn?
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. It's a vote.